Fact or cap? DJ Moore and Keenan Allen are a top 3 wide receiver duo in the NFL. Gary, I'm going to swing it to you first. Fact or cap? DJ Moore and Keenan Allen are a top 3 duo in the NFL.
Just FYI, NFL has been so much shit going on. I'm not gonna lie, I have not had a time to even look in terms of what really the land still hasn't been falling yet, actually. The draft ain't here yet, so things really haven't been laid down yet. But right now, based on what I've seen, I guess a couple of free agency moves, I'm gonna go with Cap for sure. Keenan Allen's great. DJ Moore's great. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be yet. I mean, we probably knew with the Bears who they're going to lean with now, obviously, but after the trading Fields this weekend to my team. But I'm going to say Cap. Just that. Well, first of all, they haven't played together at all, so I'm not going to even mention them. They don't even. I mean, I guess on potential care they can get mentioned together, but since they haven't even played together, they're not really going to be in my mind. I think top wide receiver duo. I'm still going to rock with last year, Waddle and Hill. I believe Waddle didn't get traded. I know Tyreek Hill didn't get traded. So those two are still top of the line for me. With Tua still there, that familiarity. Second, I'm going to go with probably still Mr. Kev, Mr. A.J. Smith, and A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. And I think those guys, having a bounce back year with obviously, again, key components, still have Jalen Hurts in the mix. Again, I thought about that. We still got some, repetitions with their quarterback and their core. So I'm going off of guys who've already proven it before. Doesn't mean DJ Moore and Keenan Allen cannot have a great year next year with Caleb Williams. They maybe can shock the world and go up next. And the third guy is going to make y'all laugh, but I don't care. Pickens and whoever you throw else with them. Whoever you throw with. If it's Ayuk, it's coming. If it's Ayuk, it's coming. I'm wearing a Steelers shirt on purpose, my fandom. This podcast is fandom right now for me. So Pickens and whoever they got, Ayuk, I know Vaughn, y'all love him. So I remember hearing about him all year, so I'll take him. I wanted, what's his name, but Mike Williams, but Kev already posted he was going to the Jets, so that kind of hurt my heart. So whoever we can line up with next to him after we traded who did we trade? I forgot our second option. Oh, my God. We already traded him now. I already forgot his name. Sorry.
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson. Wish him well. But one thing we do well is in Pittsburgh, we probably don't need to really pay. We don't really need to go get a guy unless a guy wants to come cheap because we know how to draft wide receivers. So whoever young buck next under Pickens, I'm going to go with him because I think his time is coming, especially with Mr. Fields and Mr. Russell Wilson there.
Ooh. Let's ride.
Scratch my
Steeler
head.
country.
Here we go. You mean here we go.
Here we go.
That's what we
All
say.
right, Tiny. I'm gonna bring it to you next. Fact or cap? DJ Moore and Keenan Allen are a top 3 duo in the NFL.
I'm gonna say this is cap. I think they are one. I think they're top 5 though. Like they're kind of like right outside. One is probably Waddle and Hill. Those guys put up insane numbers pretty much every year that they've been together. So because right now it's kind of tricky.
Go ahead. I know it hurts you to say it. Go ahead and say it.
I was going to say the Bengals are one of the teams too, just because Jamar.
Wait, T Higgins didn't get traded, or am I tripping?
Nah, he's
getting traded. So this could.
Oh, he might be my third one. I forgot about him. I thought he'd already traded by now.
Definitely debunk itself. Within the next couple of days. T. Higgins is one of those. We argued about T. Higgins, the number 1 wide receiver, I believe on last week's podcast. So currently right now, I think the Bengals are in there. Obviously the San Francisco 49ers are in there with Debo and Brandon Ayuk.
Pending.
You have an all-pro receiver. Yeah, another pending guy. We'll probably get into that a little later. The Eagles are obviously in there. The Eagles are, you obviously have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, all-pro, potentially another all-pro in that maybe upcoming years. But those guys are definitely matchup nightmares. And then you kind of get into that, no man's land of who else. Like the Cowboys have one receiver, the Giants have nobody. The Commanders they got, Terry McLaurin. Detroit, you can kind of they have Amon-Ra, but it's like, who is that other guy that you can kind of pair him up with? I'm a big believer in what's it called? I am blanking on his name. Against us, the Jameson Williams. He's a guy I think that's up and coming. The Minnesota Vikings, I think, have a great duo in Jettas and J.A. Jordan Addison. He's one of those guys I think can get open and get his own. He can catch whatever ball run any route that you kind of put him up there with. And the Bears, they have an argument. So it's like Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. DJ Moore is the number one wide receiver. Keenan Allen is obviously a number one wide receiver who's been very consistent throughout his career. A guy who can, catch 100 balls in his sleep. You pair him up with a guy in DJ Moore, and you can argue by the end of the draft, you could kind of throw it in there. We'll have to go into trios, but depending on who the Bears select at number 9, whoever's available, if they select a receiver, whether it's Neighbors, whether it's a Dunze, at number 3, Caleb Williams could be walking into some shit real fast. So, most games going into it, you could argue the Bears will have the better offense pretty much on any given week because they're going to have.
First time to say that in a long time.
I'm on record saying he's the top 15 quarterback in the NFL, and I do stand on that. Only time will tell with that. They have one of the better backs, as Kevin knows, DeAndre Swift, in the backfield who can run, pass, catch out of the backfield. And they have obviously those two guys in DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. I did see that they obviously have Cole Kmet. I also saw that they picked up Gerald Everett, which is a sneaky, a lot of people aren't really picking up on that. And I did not, that kind of like flew under the radar. He's another get for those guys. And if they can add a Roma Dunze or Malik Neighbors to his offense, they might win a division. I'm not kidding about that either.
It's going to be interesting to see. So Factor Cap, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen are a top 3 wide receiver duo. This is a fact. So let me break it down to you. This is tentative. Actually, no, I'm going to stand on this. They are a top 3 duo in the NFL. At number 1, you have, like you guys mentioned, you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. It's not even up for debate. Tyreek Hill's almost going for 2,000 yards. We have Jalen Waddle going for 13. It's not going to debate, number 1. Number 2, I'm going to have to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. You have A.J. Brown, like Toddy said, all-pro receiver. You have Devontae Smith, who we saw when A.J. Brown went down that playoff game, show that he could be an all-pro if he was the number 1 option. Yeah, so it's 2 all-pro talents there. And then number 3 has to be Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, both coming off career years. DJ Moore last season, 1,364 yards, 8 touchdowns, and he had a career high in catches with 96 catches. And then Keenan Allen's coming off another career year, 1,243 yards, 7 touchdowns, 108 catches. They were both Pro Bowlers, both arguably top 15 wide receivers last year. So it's kind of crazy not to say that they could be a top 3 duo. There's another duo that we could talk about, the DK Metcalf, the Tyler Lockett's, the Jamar Chase, the T. Higgins. I'm surprised no one mentioned the Bucks because I know it's Chris Godwin, so he kind of makes the duo fall off.
I was just going to say
Chris
that.
Godwin and Mike Evans, Mike Evans is
we missed a big one, guys.
Consistency. And then I'm not going to say the what did Ty say, the scat back? Is that what Debo's position is, the wide back? Yeah, no, I'm not even. He has to put him in the receiver column. They're not top 3 at all. He's a scat back. He doesn't want to do it. And yeah, you have Brandon Ayuk, 1,300 yards, all pro. So I'll stamp it. But for them to be a top duo in the NFL, I'm taking DJ Moore and Keenan Allen every day of the week and twice on Sundays over Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. What's going on here?
Before our podcast gets canceled here for being idiots on the podcast on live national television. I mean, not national television. I wish one day. But we missed a big one, guys. I'm not going to lie. We named a lot of names as duo shit, and I'm not going to lie. We missed a big time. We didn't mention Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. I'm not going to cap.
Bro, there's a reason.
No, what? What is the reason?
They're not top
they could
3,
be top
Gary.
3. They could be better than Brown and Smith next year. Literally, if they play all year, they could be Brown and Smith next year.
You realize you have to say if.
Kupp has been he's been in and out of the lineup with
that's it. 1 year.
Matthew Stafford gets hurt,
year.
the production goes down.
But Puka comes out how he was this year. Kupp comes how he's supposed to come. Had a great playoff game too. They can be right back at it.
We saw Puka's stats go down when Cooper was back. So now they both play full 17 games. Is Puka going to be the same Puka?
I think they're going to get together. And you know what? Flowers and Bateman.
No.
I just want to make they should.
Yeah, we're going off a ringer here. You're about to get us canceled.
Nah, those guys are going to I'm going to say
David wasn't even the number 2 receiver.
Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk. Good duo, though. It's a pretty solid duo.
All right, it's time to move on. We're going off a rail here. All right.